Hello, I'm going to show you guys how simple it is to edit your child's IEW paper that they have just written for their final draft. So I have their first draft, the composition checklist. This is the one that doesn't have the number amount here for the final grade. I print that type of one off from the PDF that they give you on your IEW account, and that will be able to give I will be able to give my child their final grade with that, which makes it super simple. And then I have the Fix It Grammar Teacher Manual. Okay, so first what I do is I go through the list. So it says name and date in the upper left corner, and I know that's underneath this here. So that is done. Is it double spaced? Yes, this is double spaced. So now I have to go through on here, and it says no I, my, we, us, or you. So I'm going to go through that and look. Okay, so I circled that there is a your, so that falls under the you. There was no I, my, we, or us. So then I'll circle it here. So then my oldest will know that they need to change this in their paper. And then it says bibliography entries in proper order. They normally will get that and print that off for me. Okay, so title centered and repeats 1 to 3 keywords from final sentence. So here is the title, it's capitalized. So now I have to go to the last sentence and make sure that that word is in there. So recycle. Okay, so the title is good. This we address when they staple it all together with the final draft. Okay, so the introduction, it says, includes an attention getter, background information, and states topics. And these topics need to be bold or highlighted. So, has the effect of plastic come to your mind before? So that's the attention getter. So there's an attention getter. So now I'm going to look for background information. Plastic waste and material has been building up on land, in the ocean, and everywhere someone could imagine, which is hard to believe. The way plastic affects the environment is by being dumped in the ocean and making ocean animals get affected by squeezing through rings. Over the years, plastic has been shredded and dumped in the ocean where it has been, causing water to taste nasty, and it creates islands from buildup because the result of dumping up. Because that makes more sense. The result of dumping. Ultimately, the main priority is to reduce and change other materials that can be recycled more easily. So there's definitely background information. So now the state topics bold or underline. So it looks like the main ones are environment has been affected, dumping in water, thrown out, recycled, and then here environment, islands, and reduce. So environment, so environment, so this here needs to be bold. And then islands, so this needs to be bolded. And then the other topic is reduced. So reduce here. So this needs to be bold. Okay. So then over here, I'm going to underline states the topic. So it needs to be bold. So I'm going to do on here. So I'm going to do 1, 2, and then this is the third thing needed. So with this, the third thing, so I need to write bold the topics. Okay. So now for the body, there needs to be a topic clincher sentences, repeat or reflect 2 to 3 keywords. They need to be highlighted or bold. So that means the first sentence and the last sentence need to have key words. So it looks like environment and affected, effects and environment. So that's the first one. And then there's dumping water, and then the third body paragraph, thrown, recycle. And then waste is similar to thrown, and then recycle and recycling. Okay, so the body has those things. So in the conclusion, restates the topics. They need to be bolded or highlighted and indicates most significant why. So the topics are environment, islands, and reduced. So this has environment in the body, islands. So the islands are addressed in the second body paragraph, and then reduced needs to be in the third. So reduced is the third. So restate topic, so that is taken care of. And the second part is indicates the most significant why. Okay, so it says, but most of all, plastic should not be able to advance to the ocean because it would be recycled. So that has the most significant why. So now these are the list of address ups. So the ly adverb, it looks like all the paragraphs need to have one. So let's see. So ly adverb, and these could be underlined. So easily, it's paragraph 1. Deeply, paragraph 2. Immediately, mostly, and the last paragraph, especially. Okay, so the ly adverbs are good. So who, which clauses, each paragraph, which, which. So that was all of those. And I'll come back to the strong verb. So because clause. So with the because clause, to make it a clause, it can't say because of. Because of is a prepositional phrase, which we learned in fix-it grammar. So I'm looking for because. Because. So there's all because. And the WW Asia clause. So if you don't know what that is, I go in here to fix-it grammar. And there's the scope and sequence, so it tells you which lesson that covers that information. So it would be the adverb clause. So lesson 8, 10, and 12. So look for 8. So this is the WW Asia. So when, while, where, as, since, if, although, because. So I will open that up and see what ones my oldest picked. So it looks like where for paragraph 1. And these have to have a subject and a verb. So where it has been. So that has a subject and a verb with that. Okay. Paragraph 2. When. So when. So when people is the subject, are is the verb for that clause. So paragraph 2 is good. Paragraph 3. If. So if is 1. So if animals get into. So it has the subject and the verb. And just so you guys know, math and science are my jam. Language arts was not my jam, but IEW has made it so simple. I just love it so much to where it helps me with my lack of confidence with language arts and writing to be able to give my child the tools to be a successful writer. And then I have the tools to help make sure that they are learning what they need to learn. Okay, so paragraph 4. While. So while is 1. Also telling others to get. So yes, that has a subject verb in it. And now last paragraph. If. So if is part of the WW. If plastic is reduced. So then it has the subject and the verb. So now I have to come back and find strong verb and quality adjective. I like to save these two for last. So dumped and taste nasty. So nasty is adjective and dumped is a verb. Round, plastic, and swimming. So this is an adjective and here's a verb. And then 5 major, so 5 and recycled. So that's a subject and that is a verb and adjective. So now paragraph 4. Contributing and more safe. So for me, I'm like, ooh, I'm not sure which one is the verb and subject. So sometimes I will actually like get on Google and I will say, what part of speech is this word? So what part of speech is contributing? So it says it's a present participle which can function as a verb. So that might be his verb. So I'm going to check what is safe. So an adjective or a noun. So adjective and the verb. So I always do that when I'm unsure. So that was paragraph 4. And now I go to paragraph 5. So multiple would be an adjective. Advance is the verb. So it looks like he has all the necessary dress-ups. Now there are prepositional and ly adverb openers. So he needs 1 for each of these. And then with the prepositional one, he needs to put a number 2 that looks like this and then a number 3 in front of this. So with the prepositions, I love looking up a list of prepositions here in Fix It Grammar. So prepositions. So 1 and 17. So I'm going to look for a list. I'm going to guess maybe 17. So I'm going to go to week 17. Doesn't look like there's a big ones on that. So I'm going to look here. So I'm going to go to 20, which I wonder if I have it tabbed here. Yep, 20. So here's a big list of prepositional phrases. And if you see here, because, it's because of. So if you ever see your child underline because and it's supposed to be a because clause, if they have the word of right after it, it's actually a prepositional phrase. Okay, so now I'm going to look for the prepositional opener. So I'm looking for number 2. So 2 now is over on the list. Yes. So got it for paragraph 1. So now looking by. Yep, by is 1. So paragraph 2. In. Yep, in is here. So in. So that was paragraph 3. Now 4. 2, if. So this one here, if is an adverb clause. So I will have to circle this one. And I will make a note on here in paragraph 4. So I will circle this one, and then I'll do this symbol for paragraph, and I'll say 4, and then I'll say if is an adverb clause. Change to a preposition. Okay, so now paragraph 5. I'm looking for number 2, according. Yep, according to. So according to is on here. Now we're going to go to the ly sentence opener. So this would have a 3. I'll just leave it. Okay. Ultimately. Clearly. Generally. Surprisingly. Continuously. So all of the ly adverbs are on there. Okay, so this was done. Okay. So now check for banned words. So say, said, see, saw, think, thought, eat, ate, go, went, good, bad. So I'll circle these if I find these. So I start with this first set. Okay, I didn't see that, so say, said looks good. Now I'm going to look for see, saw. And we spread IEW structure and style over an entire school year. So it is actually a 24-week course that for 23 weeks, it's 5 days a week. And then for the last 24th week, it's just 2 videos. And then they're just writing a paragraph a paper for fun. So if we spread it out over the entire school year, because most school years are 36 weeks, we are only doing this 3 to 4 times a week. And so we aren't always having 2 videos to watch every week. A final paper may not always be due every week. So spreading it out makes it very manageable and gives your child the extra time that they need to get through the material to really understand it. And we do the exact same thing with Fix-It Grammar. Fix-It Grammar is only 30 weeks, 4 days a week. So again, we spread that out. So Fix-It Grammar would be 120 days worth of work, and IEW Structure and Style is 117 days of work. So spreading it out over the entire school year makes it very manageable, because a lot of people think, oh, I have to do 5 days a week of this. You don't need to, because they have it laid out. So now I'm going to look for Think Thought. Yeah, so my oldest has been doing IEW for years, and he went from when we had a different language arts, barely writing a paragraph, to writing 5-paragraph essays with ease and without my help. Like, he wrote all of this himself, and I'm only editing it, and then he will make the changes while editing, and then he will gather everything together that it tells him on here, and he will staple that all together. And then I have another sheet that has point values, and that's how I grade it. So if you don't have a strong background in writing, you could still give your children a strong writing curriculum without having to hire someone out to do it, because I know some people who hire someone to teach this course to them and to edit all of their children's papers, but you don't have to go to that added extra expense. Okay, Eat 8. And I highly recommend your children learn how to type, because we tried to handwrite all of this out and it was a headache trying to copy it. So editing their papers and writing their papers has been a lot easier for both of us, having it all typed up and ready to go. And I'll show you another reason why here soon. It's nice having it all typed up. So now I'm looking for Go Went. Now, Good, Bad, last set. Okay, I didn't find any this time, but if I had found it, I would just circle it, and then I would circle it on here, so then my child would know what they needed to look for. So now, spelling, grammar, and punctuation. So I have found this wonderful website. So it is zerogpt.com. So here I enter in the text, and then I hit check text, and I go through line by line to see if there's any changes. So then we like to use Google Docs. So I will go on here and pull up my child's paper. So I have my child's paper up here. I'm going to go here and I'm going to highlight it. go through this whole thing. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go to that website, paste. So it's on here. So then I'm going to go through this though, and I'm going to remove the 2s and the 3s for the sentence opener so it doesn't get confused. But it doesn't get confused by any of the bold or the underlines. Okay, so then now I'm going to hit check text. And this is free. I use the free part of this spelling and grammar. It's taking a little bit, so I'm going to refresh my page. So I'll try again. Okay, see down here, so I hit check text and it's pulled up here, but I know it has some green things on here, but I found it works better if I actually go line by line and see if there's any changes. So to make the verbs, because this has 2 things, so materials, and this needs to be changed to have. So there's 2 things. So then when I go over to this checklist, I just start making tally marks here under the spelling, grammar, and punctuation. So it says everywhere, it says someone could imagine, everywhere one could imagine. So this is just 1. Ocean, and there's a comma. Causing harm to. So this recommends changing this causing harm to. Marine animals. So we're going to change this to marine. That get entangled in rings. Over the years, comma. Discarded. So we'll change this to discarded. In the ocean, comma. And I'm going to leave this to where it has been causing water to taste nasty, because this is his where clause. Where it has been causing water to taste, and we're going to change nasty to unpleasant. And then I know it's been causing water to taste nasty. And then I need a comma here, and it creates islands from and from the buildup. So the buildup. Because the result of dumping. Because and it creates islands from build up because it is a result of dumping. It is the result of dumping, because if I change it to because of the result, it would change it to a prepositional phrase. Ultimately, comma. It's saying switch to materials. Okay, next. I need a comma here. Round plastic circles used as can holders. Used as can holders, so we're just taking that out. Dumping plastic. So by dumping plastic in the ocean, comma, it releases chemicals throughout the water. When people, it wants it to be swim. So remove this, so this will be just swim to make it the verbs match. And then there's a comma. They notice. Mouths. So this needs an S on the end. And then a comma. It tastes weird and toxic. Each day, comma, which is astonishing. Plastic is detrimental to the entire world. Comma. But most of all, it affects the ocean fire. because it affects the ocean environment, because I'm going to leave that as his because clause. Okay, so next paragraph. In the ocean, comma, plastic islands have formed by dumping it into the water, comma. Which has been ongoing for years. So, ongoing for years. In the ocean, there are 5 major dumping zones of plastic. Or I might change this way. So I'll get this out. So I'm going to make this lowercase and change this to uppercase. And we're going to swap this. In the ocean. So that's 1, 2, 3. Because if we didn't have them, it would build up on land. I know there should be a comma here. It would build up. So here they want accumulate. Generally, comma, builds up, comma. It's projected that there will says be 20 times as much. So they it's projected that there will outweigh the sea creatures by 2050. It is projected that plastic, we'll see, that plastic will outweigh the sea creatures by, I'm going to do 2050, by the year 2050. Period. If animals get entangled in plastic, comma, it could cut off their circulation immediately. If plastic is recycled, comma, fewer animals might be in trouble. Which would result would result in less dumping in the water. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, fourth paragraph. On the way to reduce plastic waste. So we want to reduce. In the way, one way to reduce plastic. Waste. And this should be bold. Is to recycle. Yeah, comma. Which means allowing it to be reused, which means allowing it to be reused. So plastic can be changed into glass and paper like bottles. Surprisingly, comma, other ways to help include sending letters to the government or contributing to private organizations because it can support their efforts. Period. But mostly, but mainly, and we need to underline mainly, comma, choose class. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Choose glass options instead of plastic ones, while, so a comma, also encouraging others to do the same. And urging companies to stop using plastic if less plastic is produced. Creatures on land and in the ocean could be safer. To help with plastic waste, comma, encourage others to become, so this needs to come together, a part of reducing and recycling. Continuously plastic affects the environment and animals around us, especially in the ocean. According to a map, multiple plastic islands have formed in the ocean, which they have, so there needs to be separate, they are rapidly growing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. So if plastic is reduced, comma, it could benefit, help animals and ways of life. Most importantly, plastic should not reach the ocean, should not reach the ocean, because it should be recycled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so as you can tell, I kind of changed a little bit. After you get used to doing this, you don't always have to do exactly what the other thing is, but I was able to edit this 5-paragraph essay with ease and without headache, which I think can be a deterrent for some parents getting into writing curriculum and thinking they need to hire someone else out. Mr. Pudawa does amazing at teaching structure and style on the video lessons, so I highly recommend it, and I hope that this has helped you see that it can be easy to edit your child's paper.